without any further ado, we are very excited to have romance authors Elle Wright and Nicole Falls here today. They will be discussing Elle's new book, The X Dilemma, the genre of Black romance and second chances. And then we will have a Q&A afterwards. We are streaming this, so I'll come around with the microphone just so that way the questions are caught on the stream as well. All right, everyone, I'll hand it over to you guys.
All right, well, good evening, y'all. How y'all doing? Blessed and highly favored. I'm so grateful to be here with my good friend, Elle. I'm a fan, like, beyond friendship. Was a fan before friendship, actually. And you know this, like, please, don't do the humility thing right now. You know I love your work. And so, we are here in lovely Ann Arbor, the home of your alma mater, the setting for previous projects. And I was just wondering, you have a commitment to writing books set within this metro area.
Yes.
And I would say it's one of the hallmarks of your work. Can you expound on why you love writing books set in this area so much?
Because I never saw them. I never read a book set in this area. So I felt like I want to give this area some shine. Like, I wanted people to know about Ann Arbor. I wanted people to know about Ipsy. And I wanted people to learn how to say Ipsy, because it's always Ypsilanti or Ypsilanti, but I love this area. I grew up in Ipsy. I went to U of M. I married somebody from Ann Arbor, and so we just never left. So I love this area, and I want everybody to read about it.
Piggybacking on that, I find that there are certain, geographical areas in the United States where people are like, oh, we don't think that a lot of Black people are there, right? Yeah. And so with you writing Black romance set in the Midwest, it's just showing, like, our values here, right? Like, how we get down, the things that we have going on. I'm a Chicago girly, we cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah. We not far apart. So I just think that it's really wonderful that you make that, give that glimpse into our world, right?
Yeah.
To see what our version of Blackness looks like from the Midwest.
Oh, definitely. Because I had editors tell me, Ann Arbor's pretty big, over 100,000 people, and it's not a town, it's a city. And I've had editors question me on why all the Black characters didn't know each other. And I'm like,
do you know everybody in your city of 100,000 plus
There's so
people?
many high schools and schools, like, what? So I'm thinking, like, are you thinking this is a small town? Like, this is not a small town. This is a city it's a diverse city. Everybody doesn't know each other. We don't know each other.
Are you sure? Because I okay.
It's like, yeah, we went to high school together and did not know each other.
Oh, that is hilarious.
we met like way after high school. Like, I was married with like 3 kids by then. Like, we met like 10 years ago, and I've been married 26 years. Yeah. And we went to high school together.
The same high school. Look at that. Well, that editor who asked why all the people didn't know each other. Prime example right here, right? So I want to talk about, the X Dilemma. Obviously, that's what we're here to discuss. And the dedication really pierced my heart, right? And I'm going to just read it for everybody because, that's just what I do. It says, to the strong women who have left a situation that wasn't serving them and are now soaring because they dropped the dead weight. I see you. And to the fellas who fuck everything up but work hard to make it better. That really just set the tone for the read for me. Right? Because it's two sides of the same coin. Yeah. Right? Because, those dead weight could be those men that fuck it up, right?
Yeah.
But also him going out of his way to make it better, to make things right. Have you gotten any, like, reader feedback that let you know that, like, that message was received?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of that. I find in romance that readers are really hard on the female characters. Like, it's like you can never, you don't know anybody who struggled with these situations that we're writing about. And so you can't understand why somebody who had their heart broken at 16 could not want to get back together with the guy who broke her heart 10 years later, like, or 16 years later. Like, I don't understand that. So I kind of want, when I write dedications, I kind of want to set a tone, like, this is what you're about to get. And so if you read the dedication, then you know. But if you don't, you're in my inbox like, why did it take so long for her to get back together with him? Like, I'm like.
And I'm gonna circle back to the harsh on the female main character thing, because I that's a conversation I think that we could probably talk about a little bit deeper. But I'm gonna come back to that when we back to the general questions.
Okay.
And you know what? I felt Albany, because you could have did me wrong 16 days ago, and I
Exactly.
like, no, leave me alone. So
I feel that way in general. I mean, if we want to get honest, that's why I don't like second chance romance. I'm no take backs. No take backs.
not a spin the block Sally, huh?
No.
Okay.
We're not running it back over here.
I hope that none of my questions are spoilers if anyone in the room has not read the book yet. But the Bachelors, they make their money via a media company. And I love that because, well, let's face it, in the real world, it seems like, Black-owned and Black-operated media companies are relics of the past.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was just wondering, like, was that a purposeful thing that you wanted to do to sort of show, like, the relevance of, a family owning a property such as that?
Well, honestly, it started as a property management company. And as I was writing, I kept seeing Granny Joyce as a Oprah-like character. And I was like, she had a talk show, and then she started a media company, and I just wanted to kind of reflect that there are Black media companies out here, and they're doing good work. They're just not getting the shine.
Yeah. Are we going to dive a little bit deeper into the different facets of the media company in the books going forward, or?
I don't know. I go back and forth on it because then it takes away from the romance part of the book. And so, like, I don't want to delve too big into the media company. It's just there. And it's just kind of proof that Granny is as powerful as she is because she knows so many people in the city. And she knows people outside of the city. She has celebrities and all these dignitaries and government officials. Like, she knows these people because of her company and all of that stuff going on. So just highlighting that there is wealth in Detroit. Like, there are wealthy Black people in Detroit, and they are running stuff. You know what I'm saying? And they're doing their thing. And that's kind of what my focus was, more so than the actual company.
Okay, I feel you. And speaking of the grannies, girl, I started calling them the GGs, the gangster grannies, because when I tell you, like, I was like, from the beginning, I was like, Granny, you a G, because you gonna put this ultimatum on all of your grandchildren, and like, you didn't give them no lead up, no warning, or nothing. You just said, hey, y'all, won't y'all come on down to the office real quick? Just want to have a chat. And then they get in there, and she's like, actually, you have 30 days. No. You got to get your life together, because my children, they didn't do it. So y'all got to bring it back. Y'all got to bring our generation back. And so one thing that I really love, though, about both of the grandmothers is that their individual, like, strength really led to, like, their family's generational successes.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted you to, like, speak to how you crafted the grandmothers and made them sort of the cornerstones of each of their individual family successes.
Well, I thought of Granny before I thought of any of the characters.
Okay.
So Granny Joyce was in my mind from the very beginning of this concept. Like, when I drafted my first, in publishing, we usually have to write a synopsis or a little short blurb or a log line or something. She was the center of the log line before the couple was. And that's because I just kind of envisioned this lady who has everything. she tried to give her children everything, but they just keep messing up. Like, they're just horrible people. And so before her grandkids follow that same route, she wants to stop them in their tracks so that they can be better. She wants them to do better, be better. And so I thought of the whole marry or lose your inheritance, but you have to do it before I die. Because we see a lot of books where it's like a provision in the will, and she kind of says it's provision of my life. So you gotta do this before I die. If you don't, you go lose your inheritance, you know. I think Granny herself didn't really believe that they would. She just kind of wanted to light a fire under their under their butts. So because she had a love, she had such a great love of her life in her late husband, and she wanted that for her grandkids because her kids are just horrible people. Like, they're horrible, and they get worse as time goes on. So that's not a spoiler, but it's just she wanted them to be better.
And what about Grandma Liv?
So Grandma Liv came into my mind because I felt like Granny needed a sister. Like, she needed somebody that was her ride or die, somebody that she had an endearing friendship with, something akin to how Albany was with Bree.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of the friendships mirrored each other.
Yeah.
And so Grandma Liv came up because I thought of my grandmother. She's the most like my grandmother, except for my grandmother was affectionate. Grandma Liv is not affectionate, but neither is Granny Joyce.
Mm-hmm.
But the no nonsense, I'm going to kick your butt, I'm going to be petty, but I'm going to love you, I'm going to take care of you. That's Grandma Liv. That's my grandmother. So that's the part of my grandmother. And I just thought, let them be friends and let them have each other's backs even to the end of time. Like, you don't see friendships that last that long on the page like that, but they've been friends for years, over 50 years.
So, speaking of Granny Joyce's kids being awful, this is not a question, but more so a comment. Can Uncle John and Jackson both get hit by a bus at some point? I just, a scooter could take them out, a Ford Taurus.
All I have to say is wait till you meet Aunt Nina.
Ooh. She even worse. Oh, Lord. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready for these people. Ooh.
I wanted Jackson to get hit by a bus. Like, I started writing him, and I immediately hated him. I envisioned Carlton Banks from The Fresh Prince. And I kind of have a soft spot for Carlton. But I didn't have a soft spot for Jackson. I was like, I hate this guy. And every time I wrote him, I made him worse. He's such a little wimp.
He's like, I just very got much like Weasley vibes from him. Mm-hmm. Like, was not a fan.
Yeah.
10 out of 10, do not recommend.
Yeah, don't recommend him.
My questions are out of order here, so I'm about to shuffle these little cards like they playing cards. It's fine. Where was I? Oh, okay. I actually want to go to this question because it's something that you brought up in the answer when you're talking about the grannies and their friendship. Mm-hmm. And so I noticed that the friendship / sisterhood displayed in this novel was like top tier. I really enjoyed, those moments with Albany and Bree and, oh my gosh, her sister Kay. Yeah, like, and can you speak to the importance of like having the solid supporting cast alongside like the romantic thread, right? Because of course the love story is the meat and potatoes of it, but I also think that having those supportive side characters also brings a different, level to it.
That's a thing. That's an Elle Wright thing. If you read any book from Elle Wright, you're going to see sisterhood and brotherhood between the characters. I have always grown up to believe that you don't have to be blood to be family. And so I want to show that on the page. Like, I want to show that these friendships are valuable. They are necessary for these characters to do anything in life is to have a strong support system. Like, you make your own decisions, but you got to have somebody that you can bounce things off of. Like, you have to have somebody that will hold you when you're crying or call you on your BS. You know, like, you have to have these people in your life, and that's important to me.
Yeah. Switching gears just slightly, how did you come up with everyone's names? And I asked that because, like, I obviously, like, Bachelor is like a play on the word bachelor, right? I got that? Okay, cool. Just want to make sure I wasn't, projecting. But I thought that, the names of even side characters, like the brother named Moses, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's name was unique. And so I just wondered how you came up with this assemblage of names.
I have a database.
Okay.
I am anal. I'm anal in such a way that I have a database with names that I hear out in the wild and I write down for characters. Albany, I don't know what made me come up with that name. I've never met anyone named Albany. I probably did some sort of search or something online for names and it just popped. And Moses, the nickname, came first. Mm-hmm. I wanted to call him Mo, so I was thinking, what name could I name him? And Moses came up because I just liked it. I thought it was strong, and I thought it fit him as a character.
Yeah, I was wondering if you looked up, name meanings and things like that, and that sort of adds to the characterization.
I do last names. Like, I have a database of last names too, and I think Bachelor came about because when I came up with the concept of the book, the title was going to be Most Ineligible Bachelor.
Okay.
And I was thinking of, how could I do this and have it be a cute little pun on the word bachelor? And I was looking up people who were last name Bachelor. And, I said, okay, well, I could do this because sometimes I don't want to give people names that black people don't have in real life. Mm. So I was looking to see if there were black people whose last name was Bachelor. And there were. So I was like, okay, I got it. I'm just going to put a T in there. I'm just going to put a T in there. So that's what I did.
Okay. So Albany is essentially starting over from rock bottom, right? Mm-hmm. But in her doing so, she's not necessarily like your stereotypical downtrodden woman who's picking herself up by the bootstraps and, that sort of narrative. And so was this intentional? And if so, is that an important distinction for you?
Say that again.
Okay. So she isn't like the typical downtrodden, pick yourself up by the bootstraps kind of girl, right? She's very much like, okay, I've crashed and burned, but I have a plan on how I'm going to rebuild my life, right? And so was that an intentional choice?
Yeah.
And if so, was it important for you to make that distinction where she was a woman with a plan and not just someone who life happened to and she just lets things happen to her?
Yeah, I wanted her to have a plan because I wanted her plan to fail. So she had to have a plan so it could fail.
Okay.
And that's why I did it. I wanted her to be a stickler. I wanted her to write a list and all that stuff, and then her plan fails. Right, best laid plans.
Yeah, they say, what is it? We plan, God laughs, right?
Yeah. Especially when presented with someone like Wes.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, Mr. Bachelor, we're going to get to him, child. Because he was an interesting character to me, and I'm going to tell you why. It's because, when I was reading, I was like, it feels like his father's death was almost like an albatross that hung over him for the rest of his life, right? Mm-hmm. Where it drove how he maneuvered through life. And I wondered if, I don't want to necessarily say guilt because that's not the right emotion to associate with that, but dealing with the emotions that his father's death brought up, combined with life being uprooted, having to move away, losing this girl, all of those things became a perfect storm of, brother, what the hell you got going on?
Yeah, definitely.
And so, like, he was the disheveled one, right? Like, it's because a lot of the times when there's like a second chance romance or things of that nature, the woman is the disheveled one.
Yep.
But you flipped it on its ear. And so, again, was that an intentional choice as well?
Yeah, definitely. When I pictured Wes, I just pictured somebody that was so bogged down in shame that he couldn't function. So the shame came from how he hurt Albany. And also because he didn't really have a good relationship with his father before he died. And then there's like mysterious circumstances around his death. And then he had to move away from everything he knew with no contact to save, because there was a safety issue. And he just took it on himself, and he just covered himself in shame. Like, even though it wasn't right, he just couldn't see that he wasn't the guilty party. You know what I'm saying? Now you have trauma. The same with Albany. Like, when you experience a trauma, your life kind of stops at the trauma. Yeah. And then it's like you're on a time continuum, and so you could be going this way, but you experience a trauma and everything goes this way. And so that's why a lot of people, when you experience something as a child, that stays with you. It kind of sticks on you like molasses, like it just sticks. And so that's why I never understood why people were so upset at her for not forgiving him faster, because what she experienced was a trauma, just like what he did to her was traumatic for him. So.
And speaking of that forgiveness, obviously, girl, you lead me right to these questions. So I love you. But the theme of forgiveness is pretty strong here, right? Because obviously Wes is seeking Albany's forgiveness, but also to me it read in a way that Albany was like sort of forgiving herself for getting entangled in that relationship, trying to appease her folks, right? And so I just want to talk a little bit more about that, about both of their individual forgiveness journeys.
So we'll start with Albany. Her forgiveness was not so overt, because she didn't do anything wrong. But she felt like she did something wrong, and she had to forgive herself for it. Like, knowing that people were telling you not to marry somebody.
Everybody
told you. Even his family told you not to marry him. Every single person in your life said, don't marry this guy. Except for your dad and your mom, And for whatever reason, Albany wanted the approval of her parents. And she just wanted to prove that she can do something, And so she marries this guy, and it turned out exactly how they told her it would. And so now she has to forgive herself for not listening to everybody's wisdom surrounding this guy. And so that's her journey, is to learn that I didn't do anything wrong, but I need to stop blaming myself for this, and the only way I can move forward is if I let this go. Like, and that includes letting go of how she felt about Wes. It includes just shedding these layers of regret, rejection, and all this stuff that has been holding her back, but hiding under her will to do. And so that was the hugest part of her journey, is just letting it go. And like towards the end, she thinks to herself, like, I'm over it. You know what I'm saying? Come here, Wes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just come here. And Wes's journey is kind of similar in that he wants her to forgive him, when all he had to do was just tell her the truth from the beginning. But he was caught under a rock and a hard place. Like, he couldn't tell her. Yeah. But he could have said something when she first came back. But he just didn't. Like, he was waiting for the right time. It just never seemed like the right time. But if he had told her, if he had just told her the truth or found a way to tell her the truth, then they probably wouldn't have been in the situation they were at the start of the book. But it was just a lot going on. There was a lot of third-party interference, and he just didn't feel like she would even hear him if he told her the truth, because he did hurt her a lot, and he knew he did.
Despite all that, though, their chemistry, like from the moment they re-entered each other's orbit, it was like, oh, when it happens, this is going to be combustible. And that man kissed her, and I'm sorry if this is a spoiler for anybody, but this had, I'm talking laugh out loud. When that girl said she broke her dildo after that kiss, I said, sister, what were you doing? That you broke it? That's a lot. Dear. Oh. Nevertheless, when you were sort of mapping out how to like rebuild, you know, that chemistry between the two of them from them being childhood sweethearts into adulthood now, was that like a task for you?
Yes.
Or okay. Why was it a task? But it reads so naturally, like the progression from, like I said, from their youth until adulthood. Like it just it flows. It pops off the page. It's magnetic. Like you could feel the tension, but it was like not that negative tension, but like that, oh, they gonna bone real soon type tension.
It was a task and a half, because like I said, no take backs. But I always say hate sex will travel. So if you start with sex, you could build up everything else. So the sexual tension had to come in first, because Wes is fine. Like, he's so fine. In my mind, I kept picturing him being fine. And Albany is fresh off a divorce and horny. You know, like, she kissed him first.
Yeah.
But he rocked her world, because I think part of her was thinking, last time it wasn't all that, you know, like, it was just like, you know, because we were 16 and it lasted like 2 minutes, you know, but now I just want to see if I'm going to feel the same way about him, you know, so, well, she did. She did feel the same way.
Do you have anybody in mind, like if this were made into a film, do you have anybody in mind who would play those two main characters?
I always have the same person in mind, like the same 3 people.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
So I was thinking for Wes, Method Man, like a younger Method Man.
Mm-hmm. Listen, it's either one.
Yeah, because he's been like my inspiration on several books, because he's so fine. And he has a beautiful smile, so I just kept envisioning, and he has hair, so, you know, like sometimes people are bald or low cut, and I wanted the guy to have hair. Yeah. I wanted Wes to have hair. And just caramel skin, just muscles everywhere, and I just like, this is Wes. And then for Albany, I kept imagining, like, you know, Carl Weber's Family Business.
Okay, so this is where you learn that I don't watch television.
Well, it's she's a character in that series. I was thinking like beautiful dark skin, curly hair, if she learns to curl it, because she's not a hair person, so she usually wears braids, or over time she's grown into love her natural curls, and just a athletic type of build, because she's a PI, she's kicking butt, she knows how to shoot a gun, you know, she's doing all kinds of stuff. So I had that in mind for Albany.
Okay, can I tell you who I fan cast?
Who?
So for Albany, I fan cast, you know, Tiana Paris?
Yeah.
That's who I fan cast.
Oh, yeah, I love her.
Like, I was like, she could do that. She could
From
do that.
WandaVision.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, the famed WandaVision that I watched faithfully every week. Yeah. It probably streamed, didn't it? Okay. And
I'm a Marvel girl. I love Marvel.
Okay.
So,
and for Wes, because I too am a one-trick pony, I was thinking like Aldous Hodge.
Oh, I love him too. He's one of the 3 people. I love him.
We were on the same page.
It's him, Aldis, and Idris.
I mean,
Idris Elba.
a solid 3.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're gonna pick 'em.
Method Man, Aldis, and Idris. That's it.
It works. I mentioned their sexual chemistry, but also the sweetness really got to the core. Like when he called her Bug and he made the first mention of Bug, I was curious about if we were going to get, the genesis of that nickname. And here I am reading from the text again because I loved it. And he says she presented with a hard shell, but it was her protection mechanism, her way of shielding herself from attacks. On the inside, though, she was delicate, gentle, harmless, like a ladybug. How easy or hard is it to sort of come up with nicknames that also are like a narrative device, right? Because you're giving us her inner qualities through this nickname that he's given her, right? As he explains it.
Sometimes it comes easy, sometimes it doesn't. Like sometimes I stick to like Hendrix, Hen, Wesley, Wes, but like things like what your grandmother will call you, that always tends to have a meaning. What your spouse or your boyfriend will call you, I like to like put a meaning to it because it's endearing. And they've known each other since they were kids. Like I think they're like toddlers. You know what I'm saying? Like because their grandmothers were close, and they've known each other. They've fought. They've been best friends, and they became lovers. And so, since that's my own personal story, best friends to lovers, that's like catnip to me. So I was able to just like dig into that with them, and then kind of go from like best friends to exes to hate you to let's get back together. So I think the name was just a way for me to show that he still thinks of her like that. Like he still loves her like that. You know what I'm saying? After all these years.
Bug.
Yeah, that's his bug. Yeah.
Venturing off a bit. So a thing that you do in your work that I love is you will drop in little Easter eggs and have little visits from other people in previous works. And so when Albany comes and busts in on her grandma, I was like, oh, wait, I know Mr. Ace. I've met him before. And so I love that. Like, is it, I don't want to say like an intentional thing because, obviously, but like, how do you weave those people in a natural manner where it doesn't feel like gratuitous, right? Because even the mentions of, Wellspring and things of that nature, right? Like it all flowed so seamlessly, like throughout the narration, that it didn't seem like, oh, this is a plug for you to go back into my catalog and check this out, Yeah.
Well, I think it's a little different when I'm writing an indie book as opposed to a traditional.
Okay.
Because I'm not actually, like in my indie book, I can say, read this because this is, what was mentioned. But mentioning Wellspring is like great for me because I created that town. So I breathed life into the characters and the scenery and all that stuff in Wellspring. And so it felt like Wellspring and Detroit will have a connection in some way. So, a lot of people growing up, my mom used to tell me that there's a town called Inkster, and Ipsy used to have like a connection. Like they used to have like socials and stuff like that. So I was thinking, so maybe Wellspring and Detroit would have a similar connection. And so it was easy for me to say they moved to Wellspring because it's still in Michigan, but it's far enough away from Detroit that it's going to take a couple of hours to get there. And Wellspring is a small town, like it's a very small town. And it felt smart to send her back where she had some support to run away from like what happened with Wes's dad. And it just felt organic to send them there because it was, it's part of my world. Yeah. And so even like writing little Easter eggs, like you said, like I brought up Anna being her godmother. Anna is Xavier's mother from Pure Talent. Moses has a connection that I haven't revealed yet, but he has a connection to a family of mine. And Ace, when I wrote Mr. Down for Whatever, Ace had met a woman. And I was like, what if that's Grandma Liv? You know, and it made sense because Grandma Liv has a similar story to Albany. She was hurt beyond repair by her husband, and she was petty, whereas Albany is like, I'm just done. You know, there was a difference between them in how they handled the situation, but it took Grandma Liv to tell Albany one of her biggest regrets is just not letting love back in. And it took her years and years to do it. I felt like she deserved to be happy.
Yeah.
And I really liked Ace, so I brought him in.
I love when authors do that because it just feels like a wink towards like us long-term readers, right? Because it's like, oh, look at my friend showing up again. Hey, how y'all doing? You still happy? I love that for you. I'm trying to keep an eye on the time, so I run low on questions. So we got some interesting foreshadowing throughout this project. You know, can you tell us who might be book 2? Is that information that you are willing to share?
Yeah. It's Hendrix.
Okay.
And Bree.
Yes. Okay. I was hoping. You know, that situation was very interesting to me, right?
Don't we all know a couple like that?
We do, which is why it was very interesting to me. I'm not going to put nobody business that I know in real life out there, but I saw somebody that I know in that character. And so I was like, oh, they going to be a good mess. Like, they going to be a good old mess. And I'm ready for it, honestly.
Me too.
I'm never too good for the mess.
Well, you know, I always tend to fall in love with my secondary characters before I fall in love with my main characters. I immediately fell in love with Hendrix from the moment I put him on the page.
Yeah.
Like, I loved him. Like, I loved him to death. He also looks like Method Man. And I just told myself it's because they're cousins.
You know what, though? Let's really think about this. A town full of Method Man? Can we go wrong?
No, we can't.
I think not.
We really can't.
No, I love that. I too agree with you about Hendrix. I like their brotherhood, their brother cousinhood.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
Let me not go on and on about that. Yeah.
I think Hendrix is he's like the strong silent support. So like you notice that he would pop up when Wes was messing up like real bad. Like it's like, okay, let me help you out. You
like
know?
he was always the one to sort of like bring him back to reality, right? Okay, bruh.
And you'll find out why very early on.
Okay. Switching gears a lot away from the book. This is a hot question, but I hope that you answer it. So lately I've been seeing a lot of talk about the quote unquote death of contemporary romance in the traditional publishing space. Are you seeing that? And if so, what are your thoughts on it?
I think there's always going to be an audience for contemporary romance.
Absolutely.
And contemporary romance includes so many subgenres that it's never going to go away. Like rom-coms, what is it called?
Sports, workplace.
Yeah, like sports, military. Like, you know, it's like all kinds of things within contemporary romance. I don't think that's ever going away. And I hate when people say that because it kind of makes us feel like, wow, you know, I have so many stories like still to write. And I don't like when people kind of diminish the impact of contemporary romance because it started with contemporary and it branched out from there. And I think it's always going to be around. There's always going to be people who want something nice and not dark, or something nice and not fantasy. You know, like, you know, something. And nothing against those, but people kind of just will always want something just an even keel story, like nothing far out, no different worlds.
Yeah, just a soft place to land.
Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast interview that Donna Hill did recently, and one of the things that she said that like made me sit up a little bit was that like, you know, when they were writing in the early 90s, their success in contemporary romance sort of opened the doors for a lot of other Black writers within different genres to really be able to pop their what. And so I think about that when people are talking about, oh, publishers aren't buying contemporaries lately, da 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 da. And like me, I'm a Trick Pony girl. All I can write is contemporary. God bless it. Like my brain, she's hanging on by 2 strands of hair and and I open a wish and a dream. And so like to hear people talking about like, oh, contemporaries, da, da, da. No, there's always an audience for it. There always will be an audience for it. And I think like you said, it's sort of disheartening to, not only new writers who are trying to come up, but like you've been in the game longer than me, but like us who have been in the game for a little bit, because
who
it's
still
like,
have stories in
who still have many stories to tell. And so, I just wanted to get your,
I think
2
it's
cents on that.
unfortunate because it deters people from writing. Too much talk about stuff. I remember when I first came out, people were saying, you shouldn't write historical fiction, and then historical fiction had a boom. So I think there's cycles for everything. I just don't think contemporary romance is ever going out of style. I just think, like you said, soft place to land. Hero, heroine, insert penis here, go home.
The way I want to put hero, heroine, insert penis here on a t-shirt. I know at least 27 romance writers who would be like, sign me up, pre-order right now.
Go ahead.
You know what? You get royalties, friend. Okay. What are you reading right now? And when I say right now, I don't mean like in the immediate, but like what's something you read recently that you've like, oh, that was good?
I haven't read in so long because I'm writing all the time. I think the last book I read was only because I'm a critique partner, so it was like Corrupted Promises by Sherelle Green. So it was just like, that was it. But before that, it was Miss Bev's, her last historical romance, and I can't remember the title now, but I read it because I always fall back on historical. Because when I'm reading, I don't read contemporary while I'm writing. If I'm in a mood to read, then I have to read something in a different genre that's not mine. And so I just went, Miss Bev, that's my go-to.
I mean, whose go-to is she not, right? Like,
I mean, Indigo is still my favorite book of all time.
Indigo is one of those books that I say rearranged my brain chemistry, right? Like, I still long for a Galen Vachon. Like,
oh, my God.
That, now, you want to talk about a man? He probably looked like Method Man, too. I knew it was coming. I wanted to beat you to it.
He sure did. In all my dreams.
I am to the blank note cards right now, so I have a lot of questions. Shall we turn to the audience for questions? Audience? Nobody?
For people who have not read your catalog, what would you want us to start with? Obviously, we're going to buy this book today. But where would you want us to start if we have not read your catalog? I'm not talking about me because I've been over there, but for these other beautiful people in the room.
I always say, start with The Forbidden Man because it's still like one of my top books that I've written. I have a special place in my heart. Not only is it Elle Wright's first book, but it is about a woman torn between 2 brothers. And it just released on audio last year, and I was just super excited to listen to it after all these years.
Ooh, I didn't know it was on audio.
Yep, she chooses
she
one.
She makes a choice.
She makes a choice. He didn't look like Method Man, though.
Okay.
He looked like Sheriff Troy from Why Did I Get Married?
You know, That's also a good alternative. Who's that? Lamont Rucker.
Lamont Rucker.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's also.
So I would say if you're gonna start with me, and you want to go back, start with The Forbidden Man. If you're looking for something a little newer, I would say start with It's Not Me, It's You, which is the first book in my Young in Love series, about a breakup expert who helps women break up with their trifling men. And in order to help a client, she breaks into this guy's house and steals his valuable, priceless art, and gets arrested. And they figure out they know each other, and she gets in good trouble with him. So, yeah.
I actually thought about her recently because I was watching the only TV show that I watched, TikTok. And this woman came up and she said that she started a business where she beats men. So like men who are trifling.
Wow.
So she's like, it's a very lucrative business. Like if these men are doing this, and I was like,
That's Blake.
I was like, that's Blake.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
she ain't laying hands on him, but she
Oh,
definitely
she
telling
did.
her to. Well,
Remember
yeah,
she did.
yeah, she did.
She beat his
You
butt.
right.
Like she kicked his butt in the middle of that bar. Like she was like, oh.
You're right.
I love that series because it's about 8 siblings who are all were raised by marriage and family counselors, world renowned, and like some of them just didn't want to be married. So it wasn't like they came from a broken home. They actually have parents who love each other. The mother had all these kids back to back, and she was watching soap operas, decided to name them after soap opera characters or soap opera shows. So you have Blake from Dynasty, Dallas, Tristan, like all these soap opera character names. I just immediately fell in love with that whole family. And so I planned it out for years ahead of time. I introduced Duke Young in Pure Talent series and fell in love with him immediately. But he wasn't the first book. I envisioned Blake, the breakup expert, to be that first book because she is so contrary to love because she helps people break up.
And it's just like a way to like kick in the door like the Kool-Aid man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Especially
what a way
that
to start.
first chapter, man. Like who falls asleep during sex? Blake Young.
Right. To be fair, if things were getting handled properly,
Yeah.
wouldn't be time for
He was
snoozing.
horrible.
Wouldn't be time for snoozing.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the secondary characters kind of being the exciting ones at first, especially with such a large group of secondary characters. You already highlighted who's coming next. Is there ever kind of an argument in your mind with so many of them of who's going to bubble up to be the next book, or does it always like feel like you know it from the beginning?
No, I never feel like I know it from the beginning. Especially, it just depends on how much I connect with the secondary characters while I'm writing it. Because sometimes I can have a plan, and I do have a plan, but the plan never really comes to fruition because I end up liking a character so much that I'll flip the order. It's a little different with traditional versus indie publishing because I have to submit a storyboard for the whole series. And so typically I know who's coming and what's coming next with those books. But it's my indie books that are like, it's always a wild card thrown in there. Like, it's just like, okay, I'll be writing a character and I'm like, oh, I got to see him. I got to write a sex scene for him. Like, it's just like, because you develop characters as you write. And so they may say something that piques my interest. And like, I will say that as a writer, and you could tell me if you go through this. Okay. I don't remember what I write sometimes.
You know I don't.
Yeah, I don't remember it. So I went to a book club. I'm not gonna say no names. So they ain't in this room, but they asked me, was Amber getting a book? And I was like, who is Amber? Like, I didn't remember there was an Amber. Like, who is Amber? They're like, oh, she was in the beginning. I'm like, oh. So then they got me thinking about Amber. Like, I wasn't going to write a book about Amber, but now I'm thinking about it. Like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I just to like piggyback off that, I never once it's done and it's out in the world, that thing no longer belongs to me. Like,
exactly.
And so it gets a bit difficult when it's a series.
Yeah.
Because then I have to go back and I'll, obviously reread it, and I'm like, oh, this happened.
I know.
Wow.
That's how I was.
This was so cute. Oh, look at them.
I was listening to the X Dilemma, like, just to get ready to finish up Hendrix's book, and I'm like, oh, that was good. Like, oh my goodness, I did that. Like, it's just, you just don't remember.
Yeah. Are you a writer who, like, outside of revisiting it for, like, continuity of series and things of that nature, are you a writer who does not, like, reread their work?
It just depends.
Okay.
I mean, I will go back and read if somebody's talking about it. Like, if somebody wants to talk about it, I'll have to read it. And then if I'm in the middle of a series, I have to keep rereading it so I can know what I wrote. Because I've been caught slipping before. I've been caught
Haven't
slipping.
we all?
I'm not going to mention the book club again, but they was like, why he got this turtleneck on? And he didn't really he really choked me. And I was like, well, he choked him because he choked him with the shirt, so it's, like, it's like, you just forget about stuff. Like, and I'm not going to mention this book club again, but, they are from Detroit, and they told me nobody goes to Lafayette, Coney Island. So I was like, well, there's a reason why she went. Like, she went because her parents took her there when she was a kid. I'm thinking. And so, like, when I meet readers, thank y'all, because y'all help make funny moments in other books, because I have a whole scene about Lafayette, Coney Island in book 2 because of this book club, and I'm not gonna point them out in this room, but I'm just telling you. I didn't know I was gonna be funny, but I tend to write rom-coms. Like raunchy rom-coms, but
just good Christian fiction,
Yeah. A lot of cuss words.
Please keep
Somebody
those.
counted my cuss words in the X Dilemma. I'm not gonna say her name, but she did, and I almost felt embarrassed. Almost, but I feel like if you're gonna read an Elle Wright book, then you should know I'm cussing. You should know that.
Counting the cuss words is a dedication that I do not have.
It was so funny though. It was all in tongue in cheek, but it was so funny because I almost blushed, but then I said shit in the middle of the thing, like like I almost did, almost. I'm not embarrassed though, like really. That's just me.
Take you as you are.
Yeah. But I'm going to give you some character development,
Oh, absolutely. Like, you're going to take us on a journey, and it's not going to feel unfulfilling or like we're missing bits and pieces. Like, it's a full journey. These characters are not the same people that we met at the beginning of the book, because I am not. Oh, I'm going to circle back to this, actually, because I said I was going to do it early, and then I forgot.
I thought you was going to forget.
I did, girl. But I was one of those people who was like, okay, now, Albany, girl, now, dang. Enough. Because I was just like, okay. As soon as, like, she was like, when they kissed, and she was like, this could never happen again. I was like, now, sister, please. Like, we already know where this is going, like, whatever. But the thing with the female main characters and people being harsh on them, right? I recently got into a little bit of hot water because I said sometimes we don't like those women because it feels like a mirror. And I don't think that that's the only reason, that we are harsh on female characters. But would you care to, ponder
I do.
some of the reasons why?
I've been doing research on this.
Okay.
Like, if you read the Edge of Scandal series, there's this character in particular named Callie. I know several Callies.
Mm.
And every single Callie in my life hated Callie.
Mm.
And I felt like it's because she was a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the same way about Albany. Because we all know somebody who is not going to forgive somebody and is going to hold on to that grudge until they die. And the same people who don't like Albany are the people who are going to hold on to a grudge until they die. And I just kind of want people to, like, when I write a character like Albany that's controversial, because I knew people were going to be like, oh, my God. It was going to either be either or. It's not, some people are going to be like, yes, Albany, make him suffer. And then other people are going to be like, oh, come on, Albany. He is fine. Like, he got the D. Like, he is good, you know. But then I wanted people to come to a happy medium. Like, come on now. We all have trauma from our lives, you know. And it's not easy to just jump back into something that wrecked you. Like, she describes it like you broke me. Like, I was broken. And so why would she just take him back so simply? Like, why would she just say, come back? You know, I want to be with you, you know, like, without thinking about it hard, you know?
I get it. I was a hit dog hollering. It's fine.
It's just because it's real life. Like, who's going to just forgive somebody who broke their heart?
That's true. And, too, it's not like, you know how romance, like, tends to lean into, like, the fantasy or the, not even necessarily the fantasy, but the, what's the word I want to use? Like, I don't write words for a living at all. But the sort of thing where everything makes perfect sense, right? And so when you have those characters that sort of, you know, bark against that, right? I think, personally, even though she was getting on my nerves, right? That did not detract from the fact that I was still rooting for them and I was still thoroughly entertained by the book.
She got on my nerves, too.
And for me, that's just a hallmark of a great artist, is that you're pulling an emotion for me. Good, bad, right? Not indifferent, because I don't think any author wants to write a book that people are indifferent about. But if you are inciting emotion to one of those extremes, because like you said, it was going to be either, yes, girl, make them suffer, or girl, now come on. I feel that you've more than, you know, adequately done your job.
I tried, but I kind of try and understand where readers are coming from. Like, I just want to ask so bad, like, why did y'all want her to forgive him so bad? Because I'm one of those make them suffer type of people. And so, like, when I listen to readers who say that, I want to know why, because I might use it in a book later. Like, yeah.
They ready for them to start boning. And so the sooner she forgives him, the quicker they bone, and probably the more often. And so that's what it be. I'm going to let you know what the girls be thinking. And the girls might be me.
I don't think she fully forgave them before they boned.
She did not.
No.
But it was fine.
So, I mean, hate sex will travel.
Like you said,
I can hate you,
travel.
but I can still bone you, you know? I feel like that just opens a door, because then you want to have more sex, and then you want to have phone sex, and then you want to have all the other sex, you know?
And then those pesky feelings come along.
And the feelings come back. Yeah, the sparks fly, and then you got feelings. And you want to open the door, like, come in, you know?
I forgive you.
I'm over it. You know, so, yeah. I think that's natural for it hurts my heart because I'm a girl's girl. I hate to see the women get just dogpiled on social media. Like, all they have, the female characters in the books get it the worst, because the male characters are fine. You know, they want that male character for themselves. But them female characters, they are the worst. They get it the worst.
They do get dragged for no good reason. And sometimes these dudes don't even, like...
And they don't even deserve it,
you
do
know,
they?
the personality, brother,
Yeah.
it's down here.
Yeah.
It's not quite up to the standard, but, you know, fine.
Yeah. And he wasn't even funny. Like, he wasn't funny. Wes was not funny. Like, a sense of humor is like,
Yeah.
love a sense of humor in a guy, but Wes wasn't funny.
He was a little tortured, sad boy.
He was a little, he was a tortured soul. And so is Hendrix, by the way.
Okay. We like a challenge.
I do.
Is that our time?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Any other questions?
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for coming out. Appreciate you. Elle, thank you for writing this book.
Thank you for coming.
No doubt. Anytime.
I appreciate it. She drove all the way from Chicago for his.
That's what friends are for.
And she actually writes very good books. So if y'all want a nice little contemporary, I feel like erotic romance sometimes. Rom-com-y.
Very much if there is nothing else in my books, there's going to be two things. A joke and a bone.
Yeah.
That's
and
it.
even sports romance.
Oh yeah, big sports girly.
Big sports.
And once we're done up here, whatever, I got some of my business cards that I'll gladly hand out to you guys. And on the back, there's a QR code. You can scan it. It'll take you directly to my website with my whole book list on there and all that good stuff.
And not only that, she does merch. She does T-shirts.
Oh, yeah,
she
that's
does.
true.
She does everything.
I do it
So
all. She's
check
a
her out.
Renaissance
Go
woman.
see her. Go to her site and check her out.
That is a very good question. I'm so glad you asked it. I just lied to you. I'm not really glad you asked it because that's a very difficult question for me to answer. So in that, I'm going to ask you a question back, right? When you read romance novels, what is like one of the things that you like, oh, if it got that, I'm all in?
A good love story.
Okay, a good love story. Well, that's...
A little bit of bone in it.
Okay. A little bit or like medium? Okay. Raina, please. Let's see what I'll say today. I will say, oh gosh, that's actually hard. That's true. So I have a 4-book. That's not, riffs and refrains ain't me, babe. Riffs and refrains is not me, babe. That's Ty.
No.
Oh, Nips and Trojans. Oh, yeah. I would say, though, start with, I would just say Excess Baggage. It is book 1 in an alleged 3-book series. There are 2 books out currently. And it is actually older woman, younger man. Workplace romance situation going on. And they also have like some family stuff in the background that they have dealt with separately that actually ends up bringing them closer together. So yeah, I'd say Excess Baggage. I think that's where I'm landing with it.
I would say fucking fall in love.
Oh, you know.
See, I knew you was gonna like.
You know, you're making points.
Yeah.
You're making points. Yeah, that one's a strangers to lovers situation where this woman is sent to her corporate offices for like quarterly meetings. And so she goes to New York 4 times a year. First time she goes there, she goes to the rooftop bar in her hotel. She sees the bouncer. She's like, hey, you kind of... and she tells him, oh, here's my room number. Here's the key. Come on down if you want to come on down. And he does, in fact, come and go down. So... Oh, yeah, release some tension. Oh,
yeah.
the babies. Yep, so it has all of my books listed, like all the covers, and they're clickable, so you can go straight to the Amazon page where they are sold. And then actually I have like my main website, and then I have a shop. And on my shop are some of short stories and novellas that I've also written that are just not on Amazon because Jeff can't get all my money.
And she's been part of our some series too.
Oh yeah. What did we do together? We did The Distinguished Gentleman.
Yeah.
Although my book from that series, it mysteriously disappeared from Amazon. I have no idea what happened to it. And then we did the Christmas
And New Year.
and New Year.
Christmas
Yeah.
and New Year. Yeah. But you did a series with Alexandra Warren.
Yeah, Nymphs and Trojans. That's our sports romance.
Yeah, sports romance.
We created fictional NBA and WNBA teams, and we set it in Nashville because there's no professional basketball set there.
Yep.
So that's a really fun time. If you're a sports person, they're not heavy on the sports in my contributions.
But you've
But-
done other sports like soccer.
That's a fake sports romance. Because she's just a coach. So
Yeah,
but then I have
but
like
still.
I have a baseball romance,
Yeah.
a golf romance. I just figured this out the other day. I have exactly 50 titles available.
That's awesome.
That's crazy to think about. But
That's awesome.
yeah, but yeah, I'm a hand off my business card to y'all. So
Yeah.
get into it if you'd like to.